I want to go straight across to my two reporters, Jaskirat Singh Bawa and Ashish Mehrishi, both live with me from outside the Supreme Court. Jaskirat and Ashish, this is a day that's going to go down as, you had ink, there was ink that was flung at Subrata Roy earlier today when he approached the court. There were adverse views given within the court about his, the entire reimbursement plan that the Sahara Group has actually put forward. And now it's police custody for Subrata Roy. It's a humbling day, definitely, as far as this very powerful businessman is concerned.
Very true, Shiv. In fact, not a very good day for Subrata Roy because he had to face two incidents. One, ink being thrown on his face, and second, now he has been sent into custody by the Supreme Court. We have with us Jaskirat Singh Bawa. He was inside the court. Jaskirat, too many observations by the Supreme Court today. What were those observations?
Well, very interestingly, the bench was so angry. They said that you are the ones who pushed us into a corner. You are the ones who forced us into this kind of a position where we are forced to have you arrested to brought here in front of us. So you are responsible for all this. The bench was clearly very upset. This isn't an anger which happened only because he did not appear on the date of the summoning, which is February 26th. It is an anger which has built up over almost 2 years for non-compliance of the Supreme Court's order. The Supreme Court clearly specified why the anger is there, because they feel that if Subrata Roy starts defying their orders, then tomorrow everyone else will also start.
But just to my understanding, he offered an unconditional apology. Didn't they accept it? And I believe now it's the custody. There is a little confusion whether it is police custody or judicial custody. What is it? How is it going to be for? Where is he going to go? Is he going to go to Tihar or is he going to be with the UP police?
Well, about the apology first, the unconditional apology was offered for not appearing before the Supreme Court when he was actually summoned for which is to February 26th. Now, the larger question over here is about the repayment of the or the paying back SEBI and the investors at 24,000 crore rupees. The contempt proceedings are not on because he did not appear in court. The contempt proceedings are on because he failed to comply with the court orders to repay that amount.
So, did he give any solution? How is it going to be? 24,000 crores, only 5,120 crores has been submitted with SEBI. What about the rest 19,000 crores?
There were broadly two proposals put forward by Sahara Law. They had other proposals, but they were only able to bring out two basic proposals in the Supreme Court today. The first one was that they have property and real estate worth about rupees 28,000 crore rupees, which they can start liquidifying and start selling off tomorrow tomorrow onwards. Of course, they described a long-run process which would involve a third party, basically a sales committee, which will be headed by an ex-chairman of a nationalized bank, which could go into the valuation. Supreme Court was not impressed by it. SEBI was not impressed by this suggestion. Another proposal was a bank guarantee. They said that if you have a bank guarantee, then there is no way that we will not be able to comply with it.
To my understanding, the Supreme Court is not happy with the solutions provided by Sahara, and that is why he has been put under custody. Come back to us, bring a good solution, and then we will leave you. Is it like that?
Well, that's correct, because the two solutions that I just mentioned have been solutions that have been suggested by the Sahara lawyers and the Sahara Group all along for the past 2 years. Even before that, now there are many interesting points to be raised over here, which the Supreme Court brought forward in a very hinted manner. The payment actually started before the actual judgment of August 2012. SEBI lawyers as well as the Supreme Court bench itself highlighted the fact that you have been fighting us all along about not paying back this money, but you yourself started paying back this money, or so you say, even before the actual judgment came out. So who did you pay it back to? Were there fictitious accounts? Was this entire transaction just a fake transaction to make a show for it? That question and that observation was also made by the Supreme Court. You are right when you say that the Supreme Court is not impressed at all by any proposal, because according to the bench of the Supreme Court, any proposal brought forward today were all actually brought forward to the Supreme Court even before this.
What transpired? Can you just describe it to our viewers? The moment the Supreme Court just said that he has to be taken into custody, was there some sort of a noise inside the court?
Well, it was in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the hearing, of a 2-hour-long hearing, that the actual order was given. Justice Radhakrishnan and Justice Kair are comprising of the special bench of the Supreme Court. When they say everyone go except Vandana Bhargav, Vandana Bhargav is the one director who has had an exception in favor of her. Apart from her, the remaining directors, including Subrata Roy, to be sent to custody until the next date of hearing. Until then, a proper satisfactory compromise, a satisfactory solution needs to be brought out. As soon as he said that, as soon as Justice Radhakrishnan said that, they were rising. refusing to leave the court. But the Sahara lawyers were just completely caught off guard because they didn't expect any further custody. They were actually going by the fact that the Supreme Court had accepted the initial apology by Subrata Roy. So they tried a last-ditch effort, a very desperate effort to try and get at least an exemption for many arrests.
In the beginning, it looked as if there is a lenient view by the court, but then suddenly things changed. Why did it happen?
Well, like I said, Ashish, that's because people are confused about two different issues over here. The apology, once again, was only for non-appearance on February 26th and for not complying with the court orders, even though the court denied him an exemption on the basis of his mother's health. Now, the question over here is the custody actually because the Supreme Court finally that he's come to the Supreme Court. Now, let's get down to brass tacks, and the brass tacks is the basic issue here is the payment of the 24,000 crore rupees. It has not been paid. The proposals that were brought forward in the court today are proposals that in any case...
Sahara, to my understanding, has been arguing and saying that we have paid back to the investors. But SEBI says, whom have you paid? We don't know. Who has invested? We don't know. Was this also discussed in the court?
Interesting anecdote in the court today. Subrata Roy actually got up and said that the money that the investors who are involved over here are people on the streets, people who pull rickshaws, cobblers. So these are not people who the SEBI can actually go ahead and verify whether or not you were the right investors or not. These are people, according to Subrata Roy, who won't want to spend the 2 rupees to mail back to SEBI saying, yes, we are the correct investors. They are not the people who want to get involved in SEBI-related issues. This is an argument directly by Subrata Roy himself. Neither SEBI nor the bench were impressed with it. They brought back facts from the previous hearing in the case where it was highlighted that many of the accounts were in fact fictitious.
So that is Shiv, that is what transpired within the court. But at the end of the day, not many options with Subrat Rai Sahara, and all he has to now face is the custody. Supreme Court has asked them to come back with solution of returning back 19,000 crores. Till then, he has to be in the custody.
This is amazing, Ashish. Like you just pointed out in court, his entire battery of lawyers, the most illustrious people, Ram Jethmalani and all of the other, heavyweight luminaries of the legal profession representing Subrata Roy, Ashish, haven't managed to keep him out of police custody. There is a perception that, no matter how much money you have and what kind of legal representation you can buy, at the end of the day, where it catches up with you, it catches up with you. And that's precisely what's happened right now, coupled with that view that the Supreme Court has taken about the manner in which the Sahara Group wants to, make amends and pay those people back.
Very true, Shiv. In fact, not many options with Sahara as of now because they have many questions to answer. Jaskirat is again with me. Jaskirat, they have many questions to answer. One, who are the investors? Nobody knows. Whom has the money been returned? Nobody knows. SEBI, they have been trying to impress. SEBI does not buy their argument. Supreme Court does not buy their argument. Not many options now.
Well, that's correct. Now, the one option that they can come up with is something which will convince the Supreme Court that the money involved over here will immediately, without any hurdles, without any bureaucracy, red tape, or without any hurdles whatsoever, can start going back to SEBI so that it can be distributed to the investors that Sahara is talking about. It's a very catch-22 situation. Sahara is saying that there are investors. SEBI is saying many of them are in fact fictitious. So once the money starts coming in, the distribution question will also start coming forward. Who does the money start going?
If I remember, they had sent truckloads of documents suggesting who these investors are, and SEBI was not able to find out even one logical investor. So why were they able to give any good argument inside the court?
The one senior counsel who has consistently been with the case is Arvind Dattar for SEBI. Even though Sahara's lawyers have constantly been changing, SEBI's for arguing counsel, of course the briefing counsel have always remained the same. Now Arvind Dattar recalled from the original hearing of the case that yes, this is what Sahara did. They sent truckloads of documents, but I've actually taken the pain of going through a sample amount of information from those and created a volume of information where you can see the discrepancies about the investor information. Now, this is exactly what SEBI lawyers have been highlighting. They said that many of the information about the investors have been found to be fictitious, despite the truckloads of information that were sent in. We took out a sample, we've seen that document, we've verified it, we've investigated it, and we still found many of them to be fictitious.
Why is Sahara finding it difficult to return the money? If they have taken the money from investors, to give an example, yes, we accepted that Sahara has taken the money from the investors and genuine investors. They can submit the same with SEBI, and the money can be returned to the investors. Why is Sahara so adamant on not returning it?
Pretty much the same question that the bench also asked the Sahara lawyers as to what is stopping you. If you have taken the money, of course you have enough money to give them back. But that's when Sahara said that this is a business, all the money had been invested, most of it has been invested, and what we have are properties or real assets, and we are willing to give that back. It's just that this is a proposal as to how we plan to give it back to SEBI and to the investors. So it's just a matter of you accepting, the Supreme Court accepting their proposal. Now, what the Sahara group is insisting over here is that they don't have that lump sum amount. They are saying, in fact, Subrata Roy himself said today that the 5,100 crore odd rupees that they have in fact given back in the form of repayment, that is not a kid's play or child's play even for any corporate, even for a bank, so let alone a corporate. So they're clearly contending over here that this much of lump sum amount to be completely given in cash or in bank guarantee or immediately as a bank payment is not possible in one go.
Fine. So this is ultimately shift the entire thing that we have from Supreme Court, where the Sahara Group had no option but to come before the court and ultimately submit before the law of land, and he has been taken into custody. Shiv.
Ashish, the main point right now to focus on is that there are very few options or no options whatsoever as far as Subrata Roy himself is concerned. We spoke to Majid Memon a short while ago, Ashish, and he said that it doesn't look like it's going to be possible to, put Subrata Roy anywhere during this police custody, but behind bars. That's a very real possibility now.
In fact, it is still unclear. This is what we were discussing here. That yes. Is it going to be a police custody or is it going to be a judicial custody? We are still, all reporters are waiting here for the final order from the Supreme Court. We still unclear. So, if it is a police custody, obviously he goes back to UP Police. He will be, since it's a civil crime, it's not a crime.
Yes.
It's a civil crime. So obviously he will be into police custody. He might be staying in a guest house again until he comes back with a solution. Till then, he has to be there with the police custody. If it is judicial custody, obviously he goes to Tihar jail. So these are two things which is still unclear, and the moment we have the Supreme Court order in our hand, we will have details in our hand.
All right, so we'll have details about precisely where this police custody is going to take place. Remember, there's been a huge amount of criticism about what's going to happen next. The fact that Subrata Roy was accommodated in a guest house in Kukrel at a wildlife sanctuary is a matter of fact, but now with custody being extended, where is that likely to be? All eyes will be on what happens next as far as Subrata Roy is concerned. This entire story generating an enormous amount of interest given just how powerful and influential this individual on your screen really is. Ashish and Jaskirat are still with us. Ashish, the lawyers for Subrata Roy, what are they going to be? Give us a sense of what kind of options that they have at this point of time, because they were not expecting that custody would be extended, and B, as far as the Supreme Court's own view on the reimbursement plan is concerned. Do we have any indications that the Sahara Group has any kind of a backup plan, and how much time do they have before the next hearing and coming up with a response to what the Supreme Court said today, Ashish?
Shiv, in fact, that is what Jaskirat was telling us, that, they had given some plans of returning the money to the investors.
Yes.
But those plans were not acceptable. According to Sahara, the money that was gathered from investors has actually been invested into real estate. And they need to, they have around 28,000 crore rupees of real estate, value of real estate, that can be, sold, that can be liquidated, and then the money can be returned. But that was not acceptable to the Supreme Court. That is why Supreme Court has said that we will keep you in custody till you come back to us and give us a solution which is acceptable to us. So as of now, the solutions that were provided by the Sahara Group, by their counsel Ram Jethmalani, is not acceptable. In fact, Subrata Roy Sahara himself gave some options, but that was not acceptable to the court. So there are two cases. One is that he had tendered his apology,
yes,
as far as not coming to the court, not appearing, so non-bailable warrants were issued. But as far as contempt proceeding goes, for not accepting the order, order of the Supreme Court and not adhering to it, then the Supreme Court chief has the Sahara chief has been kept into custody now. It is still unclear. Let me tell you very clear here that we still don't know whether it is police custody or whether it is going to be judicial custody. In case it is police custody, obviously he is going to be with the UP police. But if it is judicial custody, then he obviously goes to Tihar jail. So we're still waiting for the final order from the Supreme Court.
I just want to tell you, Ashish, what PTI is quoting the Supreme Court as having said right now. PTI is saying the Supreme Court has said, we want concrete proposal. You give us today or tomorrow. This is the Supreme Court on the plea not to order the custody of Roy. When there was a plea not to order the custody of Subrata Roy, the Supreme Court said, we want a concrete proposal. You give us that concrete proposal today or tomorrow. The Supreme Court, Ashish, has also said, ordering the custody of Subrata Roy, the Supreme Court has clarified that it is not an order on contempt, Ashish.
Well, in fact, Shiv, that is what I was saying earlier as well. Supreme Court has very clearly said that come out with a concrete solution, and you come out tomorrow, come out day after, whenever you have. We can, the Supreme Court is open for you. But till then, till you don't come out with a solution, you're going to be in custody. So that is what is important for for the entire people here. That yes, whatever the size of the man may be, how big you are, how big the corporate you are, whatever money you have here, but once Supreme Court, when the law of land catches up with you, it catches up with you very fast. And Supreme Court has taken, has ordered Subrata Roy Sahara to be in custody. So it is a very important decision here, because still Sahara Group does not come out with a concrete solution of returning that 19,000 crore of money, and that money to be submitted with SEBI so that the money can be returned to the investors, whether they are fake or not, that can be judged later on. But that money has to be returned back. How Sahara comes out with a solution, that has to be seen. Shiv.